for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg. Mr. James T. Jimmy Persons Jr., age 84, of Somerville, Georgia, died Tuesday, June the 16th at Floyd Medical Center. Mr. Persons was born here in Sylacauga and graduate of B.B. Comer High School. He attended the University of Alabama and graduated from Jacksonville State University with a Bachelor of Science degree. Of course, he worked at Avondale Mills for a long, long time and retired as the finishing plant manager at Regal Mount Vernon Mills. And he was a member of the Tryon United Methodist Church, where he served as past chair of the church council, among other positions. And there will be a visitation today for Mr. Persons here in Sylacauga at Curtis and Son North from 1 o'clock until 2 o'clock. And then a graveside service at Evergreen Cemetery at 2. In lieu of flowers, those desiring may make memorial contributions to the Pulmonary Fibrosis Foundation in Chicago, Illinois. Online condolences at CurtisandSonFH.com, Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing. Christopher David Germany, age 40, of Sylacauga, died Thursday at Grandview Medical Center in Birmingham. Graveside service for Chris will be Saturday at Evergreen Cemetery at 2 o'clock with the Reverend Steve Guathney officiating. Visitation from 1 until 2 at Evergreen Cemetery. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, North Chapel, directing that service. Hilda Klein, age 90, died June 17th. Funeral service 2 o'clock today at Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega with John Harris officiating. Visitation 1 hour prior to the service at the funeral home. Interment to follow in the Pine Hill Memorial Park. Ms. Klein was a member of the Northside Baptist Church. And in lieu of flowers, donations to her memory may be sent to the Lineville Nursing Home or the Munford Baptist Church for Christmas shoeboxes. Online condolences at UrseryFuneralHome.com, Ursery Funeral Home, Talladega, directing. Celebration of life for Mrs. James F. Porter Swain, age 67, is Saturday. That'll be at noon from Community Funeral Home Chapel in Sylacauga with Reverend Calvin Cunningham officiating. Public viewing is today from 1 until 7 o'clock at the funeral home. Ms. Swain died June 8th at Shelby Baptist Medical Center. Online condolences at communityfuneralhome.org, Community Funeral Home directing. Mr. Tony Norman died June 17th. Wright's Funeral Home, Alexander City, announcing. And funeral service for Mr. Doc Smith is 1 o'clock Saturday at Wright's Funeral Home Chapel with Pastor Brian Thomas, a eulogist. Committal service to follow in the Hatchet Spring Baptist Church Cemetery. And Wright's Funeral Home directing. Funeral service for James Garl Yarborough, age 76, of Wedowee, is Saturday at 11 o'clock from Benefield Funeral Home. Brother Zenas Windsor officiating. Burial in the Clay County Memory Gardens. The family will receive friends tonight, 4 until 7 o'clock at the funeral home. Mr. Yarborough died Tuesday, June 16th at his residence. Benefield Funeral Home, Wedowee, directing. Graveside service for Mrs. Alva Pat Thompson, age 94, of Alexander City, is today at 2 o'clock from Hillview Memorial Park with the Reverend David Sherrill officiating. Mrs. Thompson died Wednesday, June 17th at Brown Nursing Home. She was a native of Coosa County. In lieu of flowers, memorials can be made to Hope Harbor Inc. in LaGrange, Georgia, or Camp Abska in Jackson's Gap, Alabama. Memorial messages may be sent to the family at radleyfuneralhome.com, Radley Funeral Home directing. And funeral service for Mrs. Sally C. Davies, age 88, is noon Saturday at Ursery Funeral Home Chapel with Corey Burrell officiating. Visitation from 10 until noon prior to the service at the funeral home. Ms. Davies was, until recently, a longtime resident of Talladega. Online condolences at UrseryFuneralHome.com, Ursery Funeral Home in Talladega, Alabama, in charge of the arrangements. These obituaries this morning brought to you by Curtis and Son Funeral Home, the North Chapel on Highway 21 in Sylacauga, and the Childersburg Chapel on Highway 280 in Childersburg for pre-need funerals, burials, or cremation since 1975. Curtis and Son Funeral Home, Sylacauga, Childersburg.